We may all have been deceived. Perhaps time doesn't actually exist. The speed of light, reaching up to 300,000 kilometers per second, is the maximum speed at which information can be transmitted in the universe. However, the concept of time corresponding to the speed of light has been highly debated throughout history. In Newton's physical worldview, he defined time as absolute, uniformly flowing from the past to the future, an unchanging and one-way arrow. But Einstein didn't see it that way. He firmly believed that time and space are interconnected. Time is not an independently existing entity, but is closely tied to space, forming what is known as spacetime. The description of time and relativity overturned the entire scientific world of humanity. A series of experiments, including those involving atoms, have all proven the correctness of relativity. From science to philosophy and even psychology, human civilization had to accept the fact that the flow of time indeed changes. Einstein long believed that time was merely an illusion created by the human brain under the influence of Earth's gravity and normal light speed. Time itself, in reality, doesn't exist. For example, the flow of time near a black hole is much slower than on Earth. For humans, the universe we live in is a standard three-dimensional space. We can move or observe objects along three mutually perpendicular directions. When we add an irreversible time axis, it forms the four-dimensional spacetime proposed by Minkowski. Let me use a simple animated example to help you better understand the concept of time. This is a standard three-dimensional space. We simplify it to three-dimensional spacetime, restricting the movement area to the x and y axes and changing the z-axis to a visualized time axis. Above the z-axis represents the future, and below represents the past. This way, it becomes a two-dimensional space within three-dimensional spacetime. Imagine a two-dimensional character living here. As the character continuously moves upward, their age also keeps increasing. According to the time dilation formula in relativity, the faster an object moves, the slower time passes for it. When the speed of light is reached, time becomes stationary. If this 2D character's motion changes, then their passage of time will inevitably slow down. As our speed continues to increase, the angle of time also continuously deviates. Until we completely reach the speed of light, time stops altogether. Now, let's add another character. When we keep both characters stationary, their passage of time is the same. But if we accelerate the character on the right to near light speed, then slow them down gradually until they come to rest again, a difference in age will appear between the two. The character on the left will definitely be older than the one on the right. This is the frightening power of time. If you are lying in bed sleeping while I am speeding down the highway, my flow of time will definitely be slower than yours. But in reality, this difference is difficult to detect. Because compared to the speed of light, our motion is far too slow. Only when approaching the speed of light does the effect of time slowing down become very noticeable. Of course, the slowing of time does not mean that everything around you feels like it's moving in slow motion. Nor does it mean that absolute time itself is slowing down. You won't live longer because of high-speed motion. It's just that in the eyes of others, you will appear to live longer. In other words, compared to those in a low-speed or low-gravity state, your time is slower. That's all. This is Einstein's theory of relativity. It makes us rethink the nature of time. It also reveals a harsh truth to humanity. Life in a two-dimensional world will never understand the z-axis of time. And similarly, we who live in a three-dimensional world cannot truly understand time within our dimension. Many scientists believe that if multidimensional space-time exists, then time should be like a winding river. A civilization from a higher dimension could step out of the river onto the riverbank and then travel upstream or downstream to reach the past or the future.